Hello friends, my name is Shivam from DevOps Schools and I will help you to enable your learning process in various technologies of DevOps, artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data and many more. This is our initiative to help you by sharing multiple tutorials and videos. And if you want any specific tutorials or any particular topic, then please do comment in the below comment section and I will help you with it. Also, please subscribe to our premium services on YouTube, which will give you access to more content and videos to enhance your knowledge about all these topics. Also, if you want me to help you with regards to the online trainings and classroom sessions by our qualified trainers, then please do write me at contact@devopsschool.com. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. That is yesterday, which we discussed about the Spring JDBC, and we discussed about the Spring with any ORM tool, how we will be doing. So, where with the Spring and Hibernate, yes, it is a two different frameworks which we are going to integrate it. So, one is Spring and one is Hibernate. The Hibernate properties we have to configure it. So, for that, we have in the Hibernate as a session factory, and the bean matching bean in the Spring is a local session factory bean. That is a bean will be created and injected, and we will take in care of our code in the entity layer and in the DAO layer. So where we have a in the entity layer, we have a different relations to be taken care. So like entity and table, or we have inheritance strategy, and all can be taken care here. So where all the Spring code which we can configure it in the Spring Boot as well with a lesser configuration. So we just created one Spring Boot project yesterday. We just created only one Spring Boot project, Spring Boot player. We didn't added any code. We just created the project with the libraries of Spring Boot Starter JDBC, and then Starter Data JPA, and then we added the Oracle jar file and the Spring Boot Starter test. So when you have added all this dependency, and if you run your code, so I'm just running my application without adding any code. So if you see, yes, it is started as a Spring, but has failed, the application has failed to start. So why the application has failed to start? You can see here, it configure a data sources URL attribute. So that is in the Spring, basically we have a Spring starters. So that is in the Spring Boot, we have a Spring starters. So depends on the what starter you are using. Depends on what are the starters you have added in the dependencies. So based on that, it will look into the application.properties, which is a configuration file, what configurations you have taken care. Basically, the Spring Boot provides number of starters. It provides a number of starters that allow us to add the jars in the class path. So it will have a built-in starters to make the development easier and rapid. So that is, it are the dependency descriptors. Like you want to work with any one module. So that is, for example, you want to work with a Spring project. So that is, you will have a Spring Boot starter. With which module? Are you working on a web? Then you have a Spring Boot Starter web. You want to work with data? So that Spring Boot Starter Data JPA. It will add all the libraries which is required for the data JPA operations to taken care. So all the starters will be available here. We can also include the third party starters also in our project. So any Spring framework group, we can add it. Like this is the one data JPA starter. Then if you are working with respect to the web, we can add the starter web. Or if you are working with some data with a different database. So that is like, for example, you're working on a couch database. So couch database or couch base. or you're working with a email system, so that is you want to work with a mailing, so then the starter mail. And you want to work with a cache database or with the Redis database will have a JDIS client, so that we'll use a Redis. So, or you want to work with a MongoDB, you use a MongoDB. Or you want to work with ActiveMQ or RabbitMQ, so that you will use it here, ActiveMQ. So all the starters we will be use it. If you're working on some integration module, then we'll use Spring Boot Starter integration. So these are all the some list of the starters which we will be. It's basically for which module to work on, what dependencies are required, we'll add all the dependencies. So that's why it make our development will be simple. So we'll have some dependencies or the starters for the production. Like for the production usage, we have some starters. So that starters are one starter called actuator. Actuator is a one starter which is used to production ready features, that is to help you to monitor and manage your application, basically to check the health condition of your application or your endpoints. To monitor and manage your application, we can use actuators. So again, in one session we'll detailedly discuss with about the actuators. So then if you want any remote shell to monitor and manage your application, so we can go with a starter remote shell, but which is deprecated from the 1.5. And some other technical starters also, like by default, it will be whenever we add the starter web, it is the container will be inbuilt with a Tomcat or Jetty. So it will be use the Jetty as the embedded servlet container in a alternative to the Spring Boot starter Tomcat. By default, Tomcat starter will be there, but if you want to add the Jetty, you can add the Jetty also. And if you want to work with the Log4j, you have a Spring Boot starter Log4j too. So all these are the some of the starters which we are using. So depends on what starter you have configured, it will look into that particular properties. When we see here, we have a starters here, which is Spring Boot Starter Data JPE. And another one is we have a Spring Boot Starter Test. So that is Spring Boot Starter Test. This is responsible for to do the unit testing. And here we have a Spring Boot which starter data JPA. So according to the starters, we have only one data JPA. So that is whenever you execute your code, when we execute as a Spring Boot application, so yes, our application will be loaded into the Spring container. It will be by default application context, Spring Boot, and what is the version. You can see here it is showing, okay, Spring Boot player application, no active profile set, and in this application it is running, and found 0 JPA repository interface, and it is cancelling the refreshing attempt, and it is saying error starting with application context. We have not written any code. Are we written any application context? No. So we written only the Spring Boot. We just created the project. In that project, there is a one annotation called Spring Boot application annotation. So whenever you see the other project which we have created yesterday, in the Spring project, we have to do the configuration. That is, we made it here, the configuration plus component scan. Here, Spring Boot come up with the property of auto configuration. It will come up with the auto configuration. You see the project external dependencies. You can see Spring Boot auto configuration jar file. You can see Spring Boot test auto configure is there. This is for test auto configurations. Same way you will have Spring Boot auto configuration also. Yeah, Spring Boot auto configurer. So depends on what is the library's dependencies you have added, it will taken care of the auto configure features, all the auto configuration classes as added here. You can see it is having the AMQP, AOP, batch, cache, Cassandra, DAO, data, Cassandra, CouchDB, Elastic, JDBC, all the different libraries which you have used in your Gradle, all this auto configuration will be taken care. So it's to the auto configuration. When we want to do the configuration, so that is we used to do in our other application or the Spring application, which is by using the configuration and component scan. And again, when you go with the Spring MVC application, like if you make it as a web application, we use enable at web MVC. So enable web MVC will be used. So all this configurations does not require here because it's taken care of auto configuration with respect to our code. So that's where these annotations are replaced with one annotation which is called Spring Boot application. Spring Boot application as an annotation which enables the auto configuration, which taken care of Spring Boot configuration, and it's have a component scan. By default, the component scan will do only the scanning of this package and the child packages, com.example.demo. Whatever the classes you're going to create, all this should be under com.example demo. So let me just copy all this code which we have it. So these are all the classes which are working, but which is with a different layer. So that configuration which we already did it here, and we just remove this. And when you see in this configuration what we have written, so in the configuration we mention where our database is present and what is the Hibernate we are using. It's by default uses here the Spring Data JPA uses Hibernate. That is, you can see in your code. One second, let me just comment what is not it. So that is when you see here in the app config, we did the configuration here. That is what is the driver name, what is the URL, username, password, all this configuration which we had taken care. But now here in this application, we are not using any app configuration. I said the Spring Boot player application can taken care of all the configuration. So that's why whenever we run your application, depends on the starter, it is saying URL does not present. You can see the message which as application has failed, it is saying application failed to start, that data source URL attribute is not specified and there is no embedded databases available. So that is depends on the what starters you have used, it will look into the configuration. But where these properties can be configured, all these properties we can configure it in one place which is called application.properties in the resources. This is the default location for the configuration. So that is what configuration we have to do it. So which is Spring, we have a number of application properties, like yesterday have shared one link to you. So in that there are number of properties for a Spring Boot application. So now here we are configuring the Spring data source. So let me just take a Spring data source dot URL. And what is the URL here we have configured? I'll just take the same URL and then Spring data source dot username. Spring data source password, which is also a password. So all this three properties which we have configured, and we were thinking we have to go with the Hibernate. So then how will we configure the Hibernate properties? That is, we will do here Spring JPA dot properties. So that is Spring JPA dot properties. The property name is Hibernate dot show SQL. So that I want to configure to true. So that is I just want to see show only the Hibernate spring.jpa properties of Hibernate show. So this is what the code which I have written now. So after this configuration, let me just go to Spring Boot player application. I want to make this as a main method. So that is always here, this run method will be working on here. So what is this run method in the Spring Boot application? So that is you have to, if you are going with by default, it will take it as a uh, it will take it as a web application. So but we have to make it the command line runner. So that is we have to make a command line runner, which is to make it as a console based application. How will you make a console based application with respect to Spring Boot? So that is we have to use it here, implements command line runner. So when you implement any interface, we know we have to override that method. What is the method which is available here? So in the command line runner interface, we have a method which is called run method to start your application. So that is here, I'll unimplemented the override method, which takes your run method. So what is the code which you want to do it? So here we will be write all our code. So that is, I will just create the object for the what the component we are using here. Player Bevo implementation. So how will you get here the Player Bevo implementation object? So that is we have to get here the Player Bevo implementation object, right? So how will you get this Player Bevo implementation object? So that is either you can do the auto wiring here, or as it is a main method, we can get the object here, because we are not using any application context to be loaded, because it enables with the auto configuration of our code. So let me run here new player view, or we can make it here the auto wide. So that is auto wide of player view. So then I want to get a list of players. Get all players. So just for displaying purpose, I'll use a internal for loop, which is for each method. I'll just use some lambda expression. I'm just printing the player details. So this is what my code we have written. So now the configuration is done. So the configuration is done. And now we'll just execute this code. And when we are doing here now, the player bevo auto wiring will be not happening. So that is, let us just see here what is the error which we are getting. So that is player bevo required of a type of a player bevo but could not be found. It is saying player bevo is not available, but player bevo is available. But why it is saying it is not available? Because our whenever we do our Spring application, we have written the component scan, we'll mention the package name. But here in the Spring application, in the Spring Boot, we have not mentioned any component scan. So by default, it will look only for the com.example.demo and its child packages. It will only look into this packages. So I will just do here com.training. I'm just first changing this itself. I just changed my package name now. So after changing the package name, what it is happening? You can see it is configured the, yeah. So it is just looking for the Hikari data source, because as I said, by default, Spring Boot application will be taken care of the connection pooling. We no need to configure any connection pooling code for the database. So it's took here Hikari data source for the Hikari pool starting. And dialect and org hibernate dialect oracle dialect is done, and it initialized the jpa entity manager for persistence unit, and it is closing the jpa entity manager, and it is giving some error with respect to the session factory. That is, see, now we are not getting any player devo or a auto wiring problem. So but now we are getting player devo implementation which requires the type of org hibernate session factory. So that is session factory that could not be found. So why it is giving or how to solve this problem? So whenever you go with the Spring Boot JPA, when you go with the Spring Boot data JPA, so in the player demo implementation, let me just go. So we no need to write this implementation class itself. We does not require any implementation to be taken care. So then how to work with the Spring Data JPA repository? So that is, whenever you go with the Spring Data JPA, we have the different interfaces to taken care of your code. So that is a CRUD repository, or we have a JPA repository. So there are different repositories are available. So here to work with, we have a CRUD repository, or we have a JPA repository. We have paging and sorting repository. So that is here. See, when we go with the Spring Boot data JPA, so that is in the Spring Boot, either if you go with the JDBC, in the JDBC you have only one repository called CRUD repository, which is to taken care of CRUD operations, that is create, retrieve, update and delete. If you go with the Spring Boot data JPA, with the Spring Boot data JPA, To taken care of your DAO operations, we have a predefined interfaces to taken care of your code. You no need to write the DAO implementation code. This repository will be taken care of all your job. If you want to do only the CRUD operations, go with the CRUD repository. If you want to go with the paging, sorting, and CRUD operations, all the six, so then go with the JPA repository. Or if you want to do with only paging and sorting, then we have a paging and sorting repository. This do only CRUD operations. This will do all the operations. This will do only the paging and sorting operations. So now here, if you go, and I will just comment this entire code. I'll go to my, sorry. I'm just commenting the player DAO implementation. I'll go to player DAO. I'll make this, we don't require all these methods to be taken care. We'll write here @ repository for the interface. And then if you go here, we'll use extends CRUD repository. So the CRUD repository will take what is the entity class which you are using. The entity class is player, and what is the data type of the primary key. So in the player, if you go to the Pojo, so this is the Pojo. In the player, the primary key is a integer data, so which is a number, so that we will provide it here the integer. So interface player DAO, which extends a CRUD repository. So this CRUD repository is a one interface which have a which internally extends a repository interface, and which you can see it's have a save method, it's have a save all method, which is by default methods are available. That is save method to add the object, save all method, number of objects to save together, and find by ID, exist by ID, find all, and then find all by ID, count, delete by ID, delete all. All the CRUD operations are available here. You no need to write lot code to your repository or your DAO operations. So you can just do here. Let me
This
just
CRUD
tell you.
operations repository came as part of data JPA
Yes,
starter dependency, is it?
yes. It is there in the
Okay.
Spring JDBC starter also. So
Okay.
if you are going with JDBC, only CRUD repository is there. But if you are going with data JPA, you can go with JPA repository or paging and sorting.
Here you will be extending one class per Pojo, is it? Now you have made it specific to player class.
Yeah, yes, because this DAO will be responsible only for one entity. You can't make it
Okay,
for
for each
multiple
of
entities.
the entity, we can have different kinds of repository and then.
Yes,
Okay.
okay. So that's what here we do.
If
So
multiple things
where
are there as primary key, there is option to give, is it?
you will always have only one primary key, no?
The combination of two things, if it is primary key, it will not be
That
there,
will
is it?
be a composite, right?
Okay.
So here only that data type you have to mention it. So that data
Okay.
type you can mention it.
Okay.
Sorry. So that is now we don't need to write all these methods because these all our own methods. We are not writing these methods. These methods are now given by your Spring itself. Let me just remove it. Okay.
To get our channel membership, click onto the join button, select the 3D99 plan and grow your skills immensely.
So Yes, we know it is having a methods called save and all. Let me just come back to this point in a bit while. First, we will see all the CRUD operations. Okay. So I have a player Diego which extends a CRUD repository. This is my interface. According to this, first I'll go to my Bevo implementation because it may have error because the method names are different now. Because in previous code we have written our own methods, so we have called the player devo dot get player by id, but now get player by id is not there. So what is the method which is to find by id? We have find player by id or find all by id or find by id. So find by id is a
Your voice is breaking, I think.
find by id is a predefined method which is available in the CRUD repository. And if you see find by id method within the optional val pointer exception optional, so that is we have a condition if data is exist then that result should be written. If data does not exist we have or else condition to be taken care. Yeah, someone have a doubt? Yes, anyone have a doubt?
No, I had told. No, I told your voice was breaking. Sometime back, I told it. I don't.
Oh, okay, okay, I got it now, that's why I asked. Okay, so that is optional as a written type. But now here we made our type is only a object. So we have to make it to optional. Let me just change it to optional player. So which is only finding by ID. Let me just comment all this methods. I'll come to this methods in a while once we completed this. So for inserting, we don't have any add player method, but we have a method which is called save method. So save will return the object so that you can return the object as well as we made it as a return type as void. So that is we are making here void itself. So that is I'm writing a player object. And then for deleting, delete method. So delete method will take a integer like whole object, but we are sending here only the ID. So that is first we have to get the object and then delete it, or we can have delete by ID. It does not return anything. So that is here with the player DAO all. So that is we have a find all method. So again here find all will not return the list. It will write the type of a iterable. So that iterable we can convert into list and do the job. So let me just take this iterable as a type. Okay, so this is my player Bevo implementation. Now we have written. So let me just take it to this. So now whenever I go and execute my only the list of players, so we have not written any DAO implementation code because our DAO CRAD repository will be taken care of all the implementations of our data. You can see here the query is coming here because we have written show SQL true. And after that, we are getting all the records in a one line. Maybe I have not used ELN. Yeah, println. Yeah. So we are able to retrieve how many records are present here. So this way we are going with our database. So it makes our life simple. So that is in the player DAO, we don't need to write our code. So as we are working with the data JP, we use here CRUD repository. So it gives the basic all CRUD functionality. But why I'm using a interface? Why can't become a class? Because if I want to write my own methods also, I no need to write my implementation for it. So whenever you don't have any implementations to be provided, so we made it interface. For suppose, apart from this four jobs, I want to retrieve by, where is my player? Yeah, I want to retrieve player by gender. How I will be writing my code. So that is whenever you want to write it here, we'll create our own method. Public list. We require a players. And here we will not write our get method or something like that because there is a coding standard to follow. Find by what is the name of a property you have, which is gender. So that is, we'll write here the method find by gender and we'll pass here string gender so that it's do the same job which is your select start from table name where gender equals question mark. So this will do the same job of your SQL query will be doing. So your dialect or your CRUD repository of your player DO will take, okay, this is expecting the output by find by for retrieval on based on what property for the gender. So that's what we have taken. Then same way, I want to get find list of player find by.
Shweta, this will not return iterable.
This is my own method. No, I can write anything to return.
Okay, okay, so okay.
Long contact. So what suppose, yes, this is okay. Let me first show this. Afterwards, I'll write some more methods. So now I'm writing here public list player find by gender. So let me go to my Bevo implementation where I have my gender method to be written. So then I'll come back to my main method.
You have not provided implementation for that, right? It will automatically take it based on the
Yes, yes, yes,
name,
that's what, yes,
method name itself.
yes. That's what the method name should be constructed.
Oh,
I will explain it. Give me a minute. We will get player by gender. Mm, I'll pass it here in. So you can see here it is written the query, but there is no results are there to display. So maybe because gender M or F, not sure what genders we have. Yeah. See, now when I written F, I'm able to get the two datas, which is 2 and the 13. Those two records are coming. But where we have written the query, we have not written any query, right? So how this query will be converted? So that is whatever the property is there in this class, based on that properties it will be getting, but you have to construct the method in this way only. If I written something like that, get player by contact, I'm just writing here get player by contact, okay, and the player vivo. Okay, contact is unique one. Yeah, it's my own method again. I have written. Let me just take one contact here. It's a long. And P. So now we constructed our own method. Okay, when you constructed your own method, so it is saying query did not return the unique result, incorrect size. Okay, it is not problem with our query. Yeah. So see the query is fetching here. So the query is properly given team name from player where player equals contact. You are able to see here the contact because I'm getting error because there is no one result. It is unique, but query didn't return the unique result. It is giving two results. That is the issue. It's okay. So that is, it is giving here now the player contact question mark number. Okay. So the query is automatically fetching based on what the method or what the field you have written here. So you can write the methods like this or this, but this is the coding standard will be followed. What suppose I want to get the player based on some two conditions. So I want the contact also should be matched and email also should be matched, or I should match with gender and the email, or I want to mention with the team name and the contact. So any two conditions I want to make it. So how to write the method? So that is, we can write it here, public layer or find by contact itself, it will give unique. Let me just take find by team name. Do you want to apply the condition of and or? So that is, I want to apply condition for and team name and age. So this way I will construct my method. So the method is contains the public list player and find by team name and age. So that is, it will be doing the operation of and between the age and the team name. Okay, So that way the query will be fired for this. One second, one second. Yeah, sorry, my son was coming and disturbing me. Yeah. So this is fine by team name and the age. So you want to do the operation of R. You can use a R operation. So like this method can be constructed. But still somewhere I need to write a query for in any possibility, or I want to do the range salary between some range. So I want to write some condition. How will you write your query? So I need to provide implementation. If I want to provide a implementation, I require a class. But why our documentation say go with only interface? Why not class? Because so whenever you want to write with any method which require a query implementation, so does not require to write it, then how to write? Let me just take public list player, find by find between age. So I want to find a people between this age, like 20 to 25 age. Who are all the players are there between the 20 to 25 age? So I will write the query like this. But the query may not be able to retrieve it, but I don't need to provide the implementation. These we have an annotation to write, which is called query. Query is the annotation to be written. So we can write here query. What is the name of a query you want to provide it? That is what's the query. That is select start from layer where age between and. So is it a SQL query you want to make it? We have a property which is called native query. So you can write it true. Native query which is true. So that it will take here the query. But how will you pass the query values to this? So that is where you have written here in the method. So this first will be taken for the first question mark and second one will be taken for the second question mark. So like this you can configure your any DAO layer methods. Okay, so DAO layer you no need to provide the implementation if you are going with any Spring Data JPA, so can be written only the interface. In any case, I no need to write the implementation for it. If you have any queries, so go with the query annotation. Write your own method and provide the query annotation. Then it will take in care of all your job. So that is what the CRUD repository. Or instead of CRUD repository, you can go with JPA repository as well.
You meant if you give native query equal to true, it will be SQL query, is it?
Yes.
Otherwise,
Otherwise,
otherwise
it will
what
be
will it?
JPQL query.
Sorry, can you?
JPQL, Java
Okay.
persistence query. So then
Okay, okay.
you should not write a star. You will be write it like a P, and where you have to write the JPQL query then.
Okay. Usually we give SQL queries, right? Okay.
Yeah, because SQL queries are easy to write it. So this way any query can be constructed with respect to your either JPA repository or with a CRUD repository. Only difference is the CRUD repository will be work if you are working with Spring JDBC also, but JPA repository only for the Spring Boot data JPA if you are working on. And JPA repository have a methods for sorting and filtering also. So that's what paging and sorting also. Like we have a other repository for that, which is paging and sorting. Either instead of implementing both, like extend CRUD repository, but you can't extend again the paging and sorting repository. Two extends are not allowed in Java, right? So in that case, you can use only one, which is JPA repository.
Some
How is
of the
Spring storing this data? Is it in memory?
No, I have configured for MySQL, sorry, Oracle, because I have
Right.
written here in my application or properties, I mentioned here I'm going with Oracle. So if you are going with H2 database, in the dependencies, you have to add for a in-memory database, which is H2.
Okay. And is there any size limitation for the, I mean,
No,
will it be more efficient for larger files?
because in-memory databases, we don't use it for production. We use it only for development.
Okay.
if you're mentioning Oracle here, it will by itself take Oracle dialect, is it?
Yes, because its entire all your properties is depends on the what starters you are providing. So as a starter we mentioned the data JPA, by default it will take libraries of Hibernate itself. Like where was my
You have
uh,
written all queries in SQL, right? Some of the database servers like Oracle and all queries will be different. No? Some of the
yes,
queries will be different. So, how does it take care of that?
so depends on which dialect which database you have configuring, that specific queries you have to write it.
Okay, specific to
If you are writing a query, then you have to write it to, depends on which dialect you are using, or depends on which database you are configuring.
that. Okay.
Any doubts regarding this?
No, I don't think.
If you want data from multiple tables, in that case, you write a different interface, is it? How do you do it?
Yeah, we'll like in if you're talking with respect to the Hibernate, so we provide here the relationships, like whereas my entities. So in the construction of entities, we provide the relationships. So based on that, we have a eager loading and lazy loading. If it is eager loading, if you retrieve a player, it automatically retrieve the all other data also. So
Okay,
that is
basically, depending on the result of the SQL, you should construct your entities.
mm. So like what is the relationships you want to give it? Because that's what the advantage of ORM tool, no? So that we map our tables, how we have our tables, according to that we will map our classes. Like here I'll take one simple kind of any uh, any case study. So that is like the general one. I have a employee and I have a job and I have a location and I have a department. Okay, this is my four entities I have. So in the department, I have a department code, the name, and I have a L code. This L code is a foreign key, which is from location table. In the location, I have a L code. and I have a L name. Where in the job, I have a J code and the J name. Where an employee, I have employee ID, employee name. I may have date of joining, and I'll have salary. I have bonus. I have hire date, or date of joining is already there. Okay. So then I have here department code, which is as a foreign key, and I'll have here location, which is L code, which is also foreign key with respect to my tables. So this is the data structure, or the structure of a tables, how I'll construct my entities to be taken care. So that is in the employee, we have to decide one employee will be many departments, or many employees will be belongs to one department. So that here department code will become a many to one. So many employees belongs to one department. Then same way, so in the department we have a L code, location code. So that is many departments belongs to single location, or you may have many locations belongs to many departments also. So in that case, it will be many to many. So if according to this, if I want to construct my entities, so let me just take it here.
If it's getting late for you, it's fine. We can do it tomorrow.
I'll just show the relationships.
Okay.
I will use Spring Data JPA, and instead of any database to be referred, I'll use H2. Now, as I configured H2 database, if you just run it here and see, we are not getting any errors, right? So because it's initialized the Spring Employee application, and you can see it's processed that it is using a dialect, which is called Hibernate dialect of H2, because it is taking a in-memory database, which is a H2 database, which is taking. Uh, then let me just take it here, new class. Entities. First, let me just take a job. Location. Employee. I'll just add a. So those are all my four classes. So there's all four. I want to make it as an entity. So I'm using here Java X persistence entity, which is job, and mandatory it should have a primary key, which is ID. So private int jcode jname. So I'll have a constructors and getters, headers, all those stuff. So then in my location also, entity, So if it is taking lot number of by default varchar will take 255. If you want to just restrict it, so we can take length as like 20. So in the department, DPT number, D name. So afterwards, the department have a relationship between the location. So we have to decide where you want to take care of relation. Is the department relation should be present in location, or the location details should be present in the department. So we want in the department location details should be present. So that what we can do it here, just private location equals location. So that is this, is it one department belongs to one location or what? What is the relationship between these two which we have to mention? So many departments will belongs to one location. So that I'll take here many to one. So this way the relationship which we have constructed in this case. So that is whenever you take here department, when you retrieve a department, it will give location object also. It will give the location object also. Again, when I go to employee, so in the employee, so I will provide other relationships, which is entity, and then here I'll take employee ID, employee name, date of joining, so then I have to give the relationship between the job. Is it many employees belongs to one job? Yes. So I will give it here job equals new job. And we require here department. And for the job also. So all these relationships many to one will create a foreign key in our table. When we run our code, it will create the foreign key in our table. So where it is unidirectional because employee knows about the job, but job does not know about the employee. So if you want to make it bidirectional, in the job also we can mention it about the employee. But we mentioned in the employee, one employee means many employees belongs to one job. So the reverse will be, so in your job, it will be one job for a many employees. So that is here, many means it will be a array. So that is, I'll take it as a list of employee. Employees equals new array list, or whichever the list according to your requirement. And we'll mention here 1 to many. So 1 to many will always be ready to construct or to create the table, extra table or the relationship table. This relationship always create one more table called job and employee. If your HQL is in the create mode. But as you are using here H2 database, it will in memory database, it always try to create a new table. But we don't want this new table should be created. Only in the Java side, we have to take in care of the relationship. We can inform to our dialect or Hibernate that is this is already mapping somewhere. So that is we have something called mapped by. Mapped by means where all already the relationship is present. So we can mention here it's already mapped in this particular place. So it is informed to the Hibernate, okay, this job, this relationship is already mapped. So no need to map it in the database. Only in the Java side we are mapping. So like this, we can take in care of all the relationship. Just given for an example of one or two. So like we can go with one to one, many to many. All these different relationships can be handled by using your Hibernate. So now when you retrieve a job, it automatically retrieve an employee. Again, in it will go to employee. In each employee, it will be giving the job. Again in the job, it will be give the employee. Employee job. You will be ending up with a Stack Overflow. You will be ending up with a Stack Overflow. So instead of that, I don't want this Stack Overflow should be happen, so that we can mention it here. Like if you are going with REST API, we have some annotations to be taken care not to get the Stack Overflow, or we require a relationship but we don't want it in the JSON, where whenever we are considering as a REST, we don't want that. So that also we can be mentioned here. So are you clear with this?
The last part was not clear.
Which one? JSON ignore?
Yes.
Yeah.
How do we prevent this Stack Overflow? This recursive
So that
dependence?
is, yeah, we can mention like I don't have a library now. When we do with the REST application, I'll add this. Okay. So that is here, we'll have an annotation called JSON ignore, so that we are mentioning the relationships in the entity. But when I'm fetching my JSON data, because REST API means it will give the data in the format of JSON or XML. So that we are not considering this relationship for a JSON. We'll mention JSON ignore.
Okay.
So that
But
you
if you
should have
write in it, but if you write a component is still this recursive dependency, right?
yes, yes. It will be go for infinite loop. No, we'll get a Stack Overflow here. Because
Then how to
department will look
resolve
for
that?
a employee, employee look for a department. Yeah, sorry. Come again.
How to resolve that for a component is?
The component itself will write a JSON ignore, so that we don't want that recursive relationship when we are getting as a JSON data in the REST application.
Okay, so in effect, all the many to one, I mean, all such relations, we need to mention this JSON.
Yes, if you are making a bidirectional and it will like for one to many to one, you don't require it. So where you are requiring, if you are making a bidirectional with respect to this, like where I have written, yeah, in the job, because already this relationship is taken care in the employee. Or suppose if employee does not have this relationship, then you no need to mention it.
Okay.
If it's a bidirectional, in that case, you can prevent it.
Okay.
Maybe that will explore it when we start with the rest. Maybe tomorrow or day after we'll work on that as well.
Yeah, okay.
So are you clear with this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Tangama?
Yeah. Yeah.
Please enroll our general membership for $399 plan to get access of all the parts.
Along with that, you can access our other tutorials such as Docker, Ansible, Jenkins, Terraform, Splunk, AWS, Azure, and various other DevOps related premium tutorials with our channel membership. If you would have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@devopsschool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video. To get our channel membership, click onto the join button, select the $399 plan and grow your skills immensely. Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest. Thanks for watching.